What's up, YouTube? You guys want to find out if I'm switching to Gerber from Leatherman? Stick around. All right, so in front of us today, we have some gear. Finally getting back to doing a gear video. This video is going to be about a couple of new items I picked up in my EDC rotation. It's a very windy day out today. I'm trying out the Rode Wireless Go. It's got the dead cat on, so hopefully you guys don't hear any wind because it is pretty windy today. All right, so first off, I ended up picking up the Gerber center drive. Now, why did I think about going to Gerber over Leatherman? A couple of reasons. We'll get into that in a minute. Second item is this Gerber Dime, which this thing gets used daily, heavily daily. You can see it's all chewed up a little bit on the edges. You know, it gets used quite a bit. It's on my keys. It gets knocked around. Had this for probably a couple of months now. Walmart, 14 bucks. The Gerber center drive, also Walmart, 79 bucks. So these are significantly less than what you'll pay for Leatherman products. Now, this configuration I like. I also have the Olight S2 on here. Run this on here because in my work I need to go into dark places all the time, so I definitely need a light. And I like this because you can carry it in scout carry on your belt. So this lives on my belt like that, and I can just slide this off with the belt clip and get at my light easily. All right, so let's open it up. This is the Gerber center drive. Now, why did I decide to jump into Gerber and start looking at Gerber products? Basically, I've been a Leatherman user for 20 plus years, and there's just nothing new, nothing innovative about it. I mean, I know they just came out with the Leatherman Free, but the only thing to that is a little different shape on the handles, and they put magnets in it. It's nothing game-changing in my opinion. The center drive I like because when you open it, the actual screwdriver is in the center, and I have used this quite a bit, and it's much more comfortable to use. And it just takes regular bits, and it has a pouch here where you can store extra bits, torque drivers, whatever you use on a regular basis, which I like. So you pop that in, pop it out, put whatever, you know, whatever nut, driver you have. It takes a standard driver, goes right in. Where Leatherman stuff is kind of proprietary. It's flat, and you push a button and it unclips, so not very useful. Leatherman corners you to buy their stuff. Where this, you can buy any quarter-inch drive will magnetically go in there, which is great. Second thing is it's one-hand operation. I did have a one-handed operated Leatherman at one time, and I lost it hunting, deer hunting one year. But this is nice. You just slide it out, and it's ready for action. I mean, yeah, it's Gerber. It's not top-notch quality, but for what you're going to use a multi-tool for on a daily basis, it's more than adequate. You know, I like when people get hung up on things about, well, it's not built as good and this and that. You're not rebuilding a 350 motor with this thing. You're doing basic tasks around the house, around the yard. So you don't need something overkill. And if you did break it, it's 79 bucks. Big deal. You go buy another one. Or if you buy something high-end Leatherman, you're going to spend $100+ on it. And if it breaks, yeah, they'll fix it. Gerber will fix it too, but you got to send it back. It's kind of a hassle. So in my opinion, for those aspects, I just rather take the plunge and give Gerber a shot. Been carrying this for about a month. It's been pretty reliable. It's actually pretty dirty right now. I got to oil it. I was using it with the weed whacker and doing some stuff in the yard, so it's got a lot of dust and grit in it. A lot of people complain about the cutters. The cutters, yes, they're really not that great, but again, if you're going to be doing a lot of cutting, then you wouldn't have this tool on you. You'll grab a different tool for that. Maybe a dedicated Dykes or actually a Leatherman, because Leatherman does have better cutters than the Gerber, I will say that. But for everyday tasks, like I said, since I've switched to it, I've been pretty impressed with it. I do like it. It's got a lot of things on it I do like. It's got the center drive, which is the #1 reason why I took the plunge and tried Gerber. Number 2, it's got a very large knife on it, and it doesn't have the serrated edge. So I don't like serrated edges. I like a plain edge, because I do all my own sharpening and all that, so I can get this thing razor sharp. So I do like that. Let's open it up, see the rest of the functions on it. I do like having a file. It does have a serrated blade there. Here's another nice piece of kit they included. This is great. This is a Pry Bar. and a bottle opener, this pry bar is pretty handy. I've pulled out some nails with this pry bar. This thing does work pretty good. And then there's an awl in here. Sorry about my neighbors, guys. So to close this up, you just push down on this tab here. It's got this big heavy thumb tab. You'll pull down on that, and then you could close it up. On this side, you have another compartment for a spare bit driver. This one has the Phillips driver in it. But again, you could run a whole sleeve of them in the pouch if you wanted to. And that lives right there. And then there's also a file on this, guys, which I like having a file on my multi-tool because I do use a file a lot. When I'm working on equipment and stuff at work, sometimes I need to file an edge. I like having a good file, and this actually does have a pretty decent file on it. I have used it. So again, a lot of the features and functions on this thing I like over Leatherman. So that's why I took a shot on it and threw it in the rotation, and I'm pretty happy with it. So let's put this aside for a second. And the second thing I picked up was this Gerber Dime. Now this thing was just, you know, a fluke purchase before I actually bought the center drive. I said, let me try this. Because let's face it, a lot of the small Leatherman ones, they're $30, $30+. And if you break that, you don't really want to spend another 30 bucks or send it back to Leatherman. This thing was 14 bucks. I took a shot on it. It's got some interesting features on it. So first off, I'll open it up. It's got a halfway decent pliers on it. It's got a decent little set of cutters on it. I've cut some weed whacker twine with it and stuff, and it worked fine. And let's flip this around. Here's the major feature that gets used on this thing almost on a daily basis. Everybody who has kids or is a gear junkie like myself, you're opening blister packages and packages all day. This is a dedicated package opener, and this thing works fantastic. It's just a sharp little hook. You dig it into the blister pack, the plastic, and slide it, and it just rips it open. It works awesome. I've cut plenty of packages open with this thing since I've gotten it, and this gets used heavily on a daily basis, whether it's opening boxes, packages, whatever. This thing is fantastic. Swing around to the other side. It's got a pretty nice scissors on it. I'm not a big fan of scissors on multi-tools. I don't really use them, but it does have one. So that can be pretty handy. On this side, you have a nice plain edge blade, which I've sharpened this up razor sharp. So this is nice to have a nice little blade like that. And then you also have a tiny file on this side, and a flathead screwdriver on this side. And then also, through watching somebody else's video, I didn't realize I had this in it. This is a little bonus feature. On this side, slide out of here, it also has a tweezer, which is great. You get metal in your finger at work or whatever, or you're doing something where you get a splinter, you can take it out. So that's pretty handy to have. And then also on the end here, it has a bottle opener right here. So this thing has been great. I'm so happy I purchased this thing. This thing gets used heavily, like I said, on a daily basis. I don't know if you guys could see on there, but it's got, you know, it's pretty worn already from getting clanged around and being used. So this is an awesome little tool. And like I said, for 14 bucks, if I snap anything on this, I'm going right to Walmart and buying another one. Bought my wife one because she loved it. She's got one on her keychain. Because, you know, like I said, when you have kids, they want packages open and all that stuff. And like I said, this tool here is worth it. If this was the only tool it had, I would buy it, because this thing works fantastic. So these are my two new pieces of gear that are in my rotation. Leatherman has taken a little back seat. I'm not getting rid of Leatherman. I still do like them. If you can actually take a Leatherman quality with Gerber innovation, I think you'd have the ultimate everyday carry multi-tool. So again, center drive, pretty happy with it. It's not built the best. I agree with everybody on the internet that says, you know, the cutters suck and this and that. It is true to an extent, but like I said, for the ease of use and the features that I use on it, like the actual bit drivers themselves, the knife, and just actually using the pliers, I'm fine with it. So, like I said, if this thing breaks, I'd probably buy another one and be happy with it. Until Leatherman steps up and does something really innovative, I don't think I'm going to buy another Leatherman piece of gear. I have plenty of them now, and I just made the switch to Gerber, so we'll see how this thing holds up. Alright guys, we're going to hop out for some final thoughts. Alright guys, so some final thoughts on the Gerber center drive and the Gerber Dime. I love both of them, guys. Like I said, been a Leatherman user for probably 25 years plus, and these two cheap Gerber items, they just blow me out of the water with the functionality of them over Leatherman. So for me, it was an easy switch. Like I said, I'm not getting rid of Leatherman, but until they come out with something innovative, I'm going to stick with the Gerber items and see how they hold up. You know, if anything fails or flaws on it, I'll definitely do another video and tell you, you know, what happened. But as of right now, it's been a couple of months for the Dime and about a little over a month for the center drive. Been fantastic. All right, guys, so that's it. Leave me some comments down below. Love to hear from you guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, slap a like on the video if you like this video. Hit the bell to be notified when I make new videos, and we'll see you guys on the next one.